Good evening, everyone. We'll start sharply at 7. So please wait 5 minutes more. Good evening, all, and welcome you all in this last session of our 5 days FDB program. And I hope all of you enjoyed this session and learn more or less from our eminent speakers about our new examination reform policy based on our National Education Policy 2020. So our today's eminent speaker is Dr. Tomojoy Deb. So let's introduce Dr. Tomojoy Deb to everyone. So Dr. Tomojoy Deb is working as Assistant Professor, IT, under Higher Education Department, Government of Tripura since 2008. He is the founder, principal in charge of TTAADC Polytechnic Institute, where he is disbursing his duties since 2016. He also worked as a faculty member at CST Department of Polytechnic Institute, Noshingar, now TIT, known as TIT, since 2002. During his service, he has served as key member of various committees like IQAC, UGC, Academic Committee, Admission Committee, Central Selection Committee, Inspection Committee, etc. He has completed his BTech in CSE from HN Bahugan Garhwal University, Uttarakhand, and MTech in CSE from Jadavpur University, Kolkata. He has done his PhD in Information Technology from Tripura University. He also completed major research project as principal investigator, which was funded by the UGC. His area of research interest is in the domain of computer vision, pattern recognition, neural network, artificial intelligence, etc. He has published research papers in both national and international journals and presented papers in international conferences and symposiums. So I'm requesting Dr. Deb to start this today's session, and the title of today's session will be New Education Policy and Adoption of Outcome-Based Education Framework with special reference to the examination reforms. So please, Dr. Deb, you start the session. Though our participant today looks like 74, but I know many of them will join soon, because yesterday also it was like that, but many of them will join soon. So please, you continue. So now all the platform is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar Chakraborty. First of all, I like to clarify, am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
You are audible.
thank you. Thank you.
And I will be co-host. You can share your screen also. No problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words in this FDP. As I see 74 or 75 numbers of participants, so it is great. I've got very learned listeners for me. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And,
actually, this is the last day of FDB session, so you know that. And the last day,
I know.
Many of us, but 75.
Yeah,
I know
it will be. No, it is nice. It is nice. It is nice.
So it will be more than 100. I am definitely
sure.
Yeah,
it is nice. It is nice.
Okay.
So I hope that during the discussion process also, I will also able to learn from our faculty members from various part of this country. And I have designed my talk in such a way so that we can do discussion also. And whatever I have learned from various policy documents and from my own experience, I tried to put it up to my slides. So without any further delay, let us go to my slide. I am sharing my screen. Please note me if it is visible or not.
Yeah, sure.
Is it visible right now?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, you can continue. It's visible.
Thank you. Okay. So, as Dr. Chakraborty also said that my today's talk and it will be it roam around, especially outcome-based education framework, and I will try to give a special stress on the examination reform. More or less, it will be around the assessment of the students with some different levels. So as it came from the new education policy, so first of all, I have to clarify that I mean divided my talk into three main parts. First of all, the NEP to 2020. What are the measured things? I think my previous speakers on other days they have also discussed in detail. And the chapter two, I'll come to the OB framework. Then after that, the examination reform with special emphasis to assessment, how you can do that. So let us go through the slides. Slide number one. Uh, from the in 2017, the report published by the Bloomberg News Analysis, which stated that by 2027, I mean, India will have a bigger share of skill level force. So definitely that's why we can see that nowadays India is in driving seat, and each and every country, developed country, they are considering our country is a it will be coming forward very rapidly. And if I talk about demographically, uh, we know that China is the most populous country. But the thing is that if I talk about the young skilled workforce, we had the largest one. We are the largest one. So it is nice. And because, two-thirds are younger than 35, who shares the maximum load. But whereas in China, most of the people are above 50 plus our generation. So definitely it is a good news for us for incoming future. Now, for the how the NAP has been taken place. If we go through the earlier education system, what are the challenges we have faced? You know, we also see, realizing that also started realizing that whenever we start any course or we start in institutions, we need to take approval from different approval bodies. Like if you want to try technical course, as it is there, if it is of architect part, then council of architect is necessary. Then for the law, BCI is necessary, and for the nursing council also necessary. Then BEd course, another body is there, and for the pharmacy, PCI is there. So there are plenty of fragmented higher educational ecosystems running around us. So why not to unify them and to make all those unified apex bodies under a single umbrella? So this was the challenge till now we are facing. But yes, thanks to NAP, it is coming. It is getting regularized right nowadays. Now, less emphasis on the development of cognitive skills, learning outcomes. Nowadays, it is the buzzwords: learning outcomes. What is the learning outcomes? What is the program outcomes? What is the course outcomes? These are the buzzwords. Now we are also doing an FDP examination reform. Why it is so much important? How the assessment will be done? So previously, before 5 years or 6 years before, very few FDPs has been done under the title of the examination reforms. So but nowadays, every courses are being designed in such a manner so that cognitive skills of any student can be developed, and the faculty members are being able to judge them. So a proper assessment, the procedure should be there, and so that they can attain a certain number of, to the expected level they can have. And previously, what we have seen that if I talk specifically about the technical education system, like a diploma engineering student can only go through the graduation with the respective departments, like civil to civil, computer science to computer science or maximum IT, then electronics to electrical maximum, or otherwise it is being electronics. So it was very much rigid, and students without mathematical background, they cannot take entrance to the our technical courses, enroll in the technical courses. So it was a very rigid separation in the disciplines. So in terms of specialization also, this was there. Now we are narrowing the opportunity. Previously, we are narrowing the opportunity, but right now the opportunity has been very liberalized. Now about the language, mode of language. If we go in other countries, there are only few local languages there. Like if we go to Germany, then all the educational mode is German. In China, they are teaching. They are teaching in Chinese. Japan, they are teaching in Japanese. Then also in the European countries, also the Spanish also it is there. Then for the Israel, they have got using their own local languages. They are also coding in local language in the local language also. So, but in our country, there are many forms of local languages. So it is not possible to adapt all the local languages, but based on the the demographic situations and the population, we may choose to use some local languages. But right now, the AICT also promoting the faculty members so that they can write the technical books in the local languages like Hindi, then Bengali, then Punjabi, and then the Tamil or in South Indian languages. So it is a very nice initiative. So that the socio-economical barrier can be break. Okay. Then another thing is the lack of autonomy. Uh, till date, I must say there is a lack of autonomy for the teachers and for the institutional level also. Like I'm working as a principal in charge. I'm basically a faculty member from the IT department. And for the last 6 years, what I found that we have very less number of autonomy. Whenever we need to do some changes, we have to wait to the positive note from the approval authority and also from the affiliating authority. So we have very less number autonomy what we can exercise to upgrade our curricula or assessing methodology. So this was the challenges in the earlier systems. Right now, the things are getting a little bit easier. And previously, what I have found that merit-based career management and the progression of the faculty members were not very much adequate. But thanks to AICT or UGC, they are designing the promotional scheme and career management scheme in such a manner so that the upgradation of the faculty members and also the directors and others, they can move forward and they will be pushed. There will be a push from behind so that they can learn new things. They have to adapt new things. So sometimes we feel that okay, we are being pushed so hard, but actually it is a blessing in disguise. We are learning new things, like in the COVID situations. uh, Myself also, I have learned many tools to design MOOC courses. So I have gone through many FDPs for that, and I have done some courses also in the open platform. So I have learned many new things so that I can deliver my students in a very effective manner, in a very animated manner, so that I can make my teaching learning skills very attractive for students, so that I can bind them. It was the nicer thing coming ahead. And another thing, major disadvantage was uh, in the newspaper also, and in the very reputed magazines also, it has been came that the quality of research done or paper published done in our country is not that up to the mark. And also the funding made by the public sector companies and private sector companies are not too much adequate and also not too much competitive than the rest of the world. So that was one bigger challenge for the any institution who are eyeing for the research funding. Suboptimal governance and leadership in HEI, obviously, because as we are lacking in autonomy, so that optimal level of governance we cannot exercise efficiently. And regulatory system, yes, it was not too much adequate and not too much effective till date. And another problem is the affiliating universities. Like there are various kinds of universities we have in our country. Some universities are, they don't have any they don't affiliate any institutions, UG or PG colleges. Some universities are there, they are mainly built to give run some courses like PG courses or research courses, and some universities are therefore only to affiliate the other institutions. The problem is that, like if an university is giving only the affiliations who doesn't have any faculty, like departments, standalone departments, then it is very much tough to maintain the quality of the education, because right now the quality education is the buzzword. Now, if the courses offered by any institution is not up to the mark or doesn't match with the parameter which has been set by the industry or who are going to employ our product, then definitely it is a bigger problem. We are just creating unemployable students. I mean graduates. So it is a bigger issue, and nowadays some stringent rules are being set up in this regard also. Now, about the how the NEP is targeting, and why I am going to this slide, that I want to emphasize in some point that in coming years we will face a flood of students from various socio-economic background. And if we don't start maintaining the quality, and if we don't give a proper framework for the assessment methodology, then in coming years we'll face bigger problems. Okay. So as per NEP is the 2020-2030, the access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education will be completed. It should be completed, so it will be ensured. And also that education what will be provided in the primary or secondary level to all the boys and girls, it should be free. It will be free, and it will be equitable, and it should be of the same quality in terms of the public and private schools. And that equal access of education to all men and women in a very affordable way, in very qualitative way, and vocational, and also the tertiary education. Tertiary education means the universities who are offering the courses, UG courses, PG courses, PhD courses, postdoc, or etc. etc. Vocational courses definitely, and substantially increase the number of youths and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employable, who can go for find a decent job, or who can set up their own business. I mean, as a nutshell, they can have a startup or they will go for an entrepreneurship. So that will be an emphasis, because the job sector, the absorption that the capacity is limited. So the thing is that if we can create more startup initiatives, we can promote their entrepreneurship skills into our students, then definitely it will be one ecosystem will be developed where more and more students can be absorbed. And definitely to eliminate the gender disparity and offering the equal access to all the men and women, including the persons with disabilities, then indigenous peoples and children in vulnerable situations. And by 2030, we have to ensure that all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve the literacy and also the numeracy. Numeracy means they can have the knowledge of numbers, they can do addition, subtraction, that basic mathematical things. And what I've told that types of university which will exist uh, at part NEP 2020 vision document. We know the university mainly gives some degrees like UG, they can give UG degrees, mainly PG degrees, then they give some research degrees also, and also do some research works, then they will have some community engagements. But this is a university we understand is meant for. And also the university will go for some research intensive programs, and the teaching intensive university also will be there, where the teachers can be can be trained, and also they will go for the state of art laboratories, so that PG course or research courses can be uh, can be taught in a qualitative manner. And then autonomous degree granting colleges will refer to as large disciplinary that grants that undergraduate degrees. And in our state also, government is thinking to give autonomy to some colleges, so that they can give a degree of their own, and they can also start the PG courses. Already some initiative has came up. This is all the that outcome of the NEP. And now ICT also told that technical institution can go for the open distance learning, and there is option, obviously with prior approval from the approval authority and all the affiliating body. And the online programs also we can run, the system of affiliating colleges will gradually phased over a period of 15 years. There will be graded autonomy. Okay. The last point I like to emphasize on the last point, the that higher education institutions, so there are many nomenclatures out there. It is deemed to be universities there, affiliating university is there, affiliating technical universities there, unitary universities. Unitary university means like universities like Jadavpur University is an example of unitary university. Then JNU, it is also an unitary university, and the Jamia Millia Islamia, then JNTU, and these are the some examples of unitary university. So at the term will be just university, not the all those nomenclature will be abolished. Okay. About the agencies, if we talk about, it will be there will be only a single regulator for all the higher education system, for the general degree courses, universities, technical colleges, except definitely medical colleges and legal colleges, all come under on a single regulatory body, a National Higher Education Regulatory Council. Maybe the process in the it is in the process. Then there will be a single accrediting council. Okay, National Accreditation Council like NPA and NAC will become under the single umbrella. There will be a one financer. Like now we get I've got project funding from UGC, then also from the AICT. Now only the Higher Education Grants Council will give us the funds for any activities, research or other development activities. Then learning outcomes framework will be only there will be one council, General Educational Council will be there. And for the research funding, National Research Foundation will be there. So it is a good sign that for the funding our research activities, there will be a separate council regulatory body will see and look after this, take care of this. And it goes on some other, some recommendations which is kept in the UTC, like the provisional standard setting bodies to set standards in the field, but will not have a regulatory power. They will only frame the rules and regulations. That's it. And MPhil courses will be discontinued. So I think previous speakers and other, other speakers in other days, they might have discussed all this in detail. I want to skip this thing. No, that is important. Why NAP is there? To create a flexible educational system. So everybody by now knows that in NAP it is given that the degrees, UT degrees or any kind of degrees will have multiple exit options. Like if our students, like we are running a polytechnic, or somebody is running an BTech, students can take an exit at any level. So whenever he or she takes an exit from any level, he will be awarded with the certificate, and that certificate will have some equivalency so that he or she can take admission later on, or he in the same institute or some other institute, maybe in this state or some other states. So that is very much important. There is a nice proposal has been given there in the NAP 2020. Then academic bank of credit where whenever the student will be going through any courses, one academic bank of credit will be there, will be created in favor of him, in favor of the student, where all the credits will be accumulated. Like if he is his past first semester, a bunch of credit will be accumulated. If he has done any MOOC course or done some course in SWAM platform, credit will be accumulated, and definitely he or she will get some benefit through his courses during the program. And definitely while the ultimate degree will be awarded to him, the student, all the that credit will be counted. Then flexibility in terms of learning. The learning may be in various trajectories. Right now, in the previous, previous curricula, what we have been studying or teaching in degree or diploma courses, it was, very much not very diversified. As we have also upgraded our curriculum or revised our curriculum, we have tried to include courses from various departments, like open electives we have introduced. Then we have introduced that audit courses we have introduced. Okay, so we have given opportunity to our students so that they can learn some courses from other departments also. They can learn some courses which are related to the sports and yoga, which are related to the philosophy, which are related to the political science, which are related to English, related to commerce and accountancy. So each and every courses has got their own dimension, which can benefit our students to attain a good attain a level of professional skills. Okay. Then from the ethical point of view also, there are some courses has been introduced. So that flexibility has been given to our students. They can also take some out from some courses from the SWAM platform. Okay, they can attend some courses in the MOOC. So that flexible system has been developed. There is no hard separation has been made in the NAP between the arts and science background, because we know that the science is it gives us the platform based on which which the engineering domains has been came up. Between the curricular extracurricular activity also it has been included, and in this manner, the flexible system has been developed, and multidisciplinary and holistic education across the science, social science, arts, humanity, sports. As I mentioned, that everything has been came up, and a sandwich form has been offered to the students in a very very subtle manner. Okay. Um, in the NEP, emphasis has been given to uh, gain the knowledge in a very conceptual manner. Previously, when the study was basically about the memorizing, the rote learning, but and to learn to pass the exams. But how the assessment, all the open I mean the education system has been designed. It We have to drive our students so that the conceptual building about the courses they are going through, it should be proper. It should be proper, so that they can be employable in future. And definitely the rote learning should be avoided. Then creativity and critical thinking should be encouraged among our students, so that the logical decision making can be developed, and also innovation there should be innovative. There should be think innovatively. Like if they learn some theory or some rules, they should exercise those theory or some rules, so that they can design something or propose something or find some solution for a specific problem. So then only we can say that that conceptual uh, knowledge building is successful for us. Ethics and human ethics, then constitutional values, like the empathy, respect for others, then cleanliness around our periphery, then courtesy, then democratic spirit, the spirit of service, the respect to our public property, then scientific temper, that liberty, responsibility, pluralism, equality, and justice. So everything has been incorporated in the NAP, and it has been constantly been said and mentioned in the NAP that the courses related to this should be included, maybe in some manner, so that the students can be that may be groomed as a future citizens. We should groom a future citizen in such a manner they can be an asset for our nation. Okay, let us, as I mentioned about the curriculum, just give me 2 seconds, please. Sami should give. Sorry for the break. Yeah. As I was discussing about the curriculum, now I tried to fragmentize this thing into four little sections, like how we can design a good curriculum, or how we have designed our curriculums for the university. People University is that we have tried to include only the core essentials, which is very much important, which will help us to build critical thinking in our students. Like we can take in proper interactive classes, and we can promote the experimental learning. So why I talk about the critical thinking? It is all about the inquiry, which we can, I mean, while I am giving some lecture, I should always promote questions from my counterpart, like, I mean, the students, so that they should ask question. Some gap should be there, or some doubt should be created among the students, so that they are bound to ask questions. And while answering those questions, some new information I can give to the students. So the discussion will be detailed, and there will be a both way communication. Okay. And also the discussion will be based on very much uh, analytical, definitely, and it will promote some holistic approach of the education system. Then interactive classes, definitely, if we reduce the dependency of the textbooks, if we can give some addresses of some web resources, MOOC courses, YouTube lectures, then also some reference book, different reference books, then definitely the dependency of our students of any single textbooks will be less. Okay. And then only the classes will be interactive. Then experiential learning, like whenever we go some go to take some classes, definitely also exercise the same thing. We like to create an ambience, so that it's like a collaborative discussion may take space. We get indulged in discussion with our students. We try to explain what the topic is all about. Like if in my today's lesson plan, I need to discuss some topic, and first of all I have to discuss what is the topic all about, what they will learn from this topic. After the end of today's lecture, what should be attained by them. I can take a quiz, short quiz of 2-3 questions to check their assessment, assessments, I mean attainment ratio. So this thing can be done, and then only they will feel the importance of day-to-day classes. Otherwise, we'll find this the student will be absent from the classes. So it will be an experiential learning, and it will grow deep learning activities in our student. Now, in the next part is the important one, which are I was aiming for, the assessment, which is a very important thing. Maybe more or less, we try to assess our students. Definitely, we are teaching for many years. Each and every faculty members try to assess their students in a different manner. Idea is same, but maybe not in proper format. Idea is same. Everybody tries to assess the student in terms of various parameters. Yes, those parameters are inside the mind. The brain is functioning, but the thing is that we need to put it in a in the metric format, so that black and it should be in the black and white. So in the examination reform, we are emphasizing on transforming assessment so that we can optimize the learning process. We can we can have an overall development for our students. Okay, then the feature of assessment, what I understood, I have just tried to portray in this figure. Like the 4 segments I found. Number 1 is the regular, formative, and competency-based assessment, which we generally do, and we need to promote the learning and development of of the students in any manner. Like we may give some assignment, like we may share some short lectures, and we may ask them to write the summary of those lectures. This sort of activities can be there. Then focuses on assessment for learning, because once the students feel that they will be assessed for their learning, I mean, seriously assessed. If we explain our students how we are going to assess them, then definitely it will be an eye opener for them. Because if they feel that okay, that assessment criteria is so vast, so each and everything will be judged, each and every activities will be judged, each and every task will be judged. So definitely it will be an eye opener, and they will take the lesson very much seriously. And the fourth one is the test the higher order skill. I have kept several slides to discuss this because it is very much important domain what I have found, because there are many missing links in everywhere. So to test the higher order skills, like to test the analysis skill, the critical thinking skills, and also the conceptual clarity skills. So whether the concept is clear or not. So now assessment. Now we are shifting from content-based assessment to the competency-based assessment. I think yeah, 5 minutes. Previously, what we are doing, that we are doing content-based assessment. Now we have to shift to the competency-based assessment. We must feel, the teacher or evaluator must feel that whether the student is competent or not. If I give them, 4 grade, suppose 4 grade I have given, so whether he or she is eligible to attain that 4 grade or not. Suppose for one question 6 marks are there, so if I give 5 marks, then I have to justify through my activities whether this answer is capable to give, I mean, is eligible to get 5 marks or not. And also the content should be similar to the actual one, I mean, what desirable one, those statements very much should be very much clear, and the knowledge level of that question we should, whenever we prepare the question, the knowledge level of the question also should be drafted by any question setter. So then only that competency based assessment will be successful. Then 360 holistic progress card. Like the progress card should be prepared in this manner, like each and every activity of the student will be tracked, maybe tracked, because it is very much important right now. In our new rules and regulation, which has been designed by and adopted by the Techno University, we have proposed that there will be marks for the internal examination, that fixed time examination, what do we that conventional examination process, then assessment, quizzes, assignments, attendance, and for the sessional marks, that many other parameters. So for each and every parameter, there are some marks, and it is the now faculty members has got the autonomy. We have got the space to to divide those segments into such sub segments. So like if I put some marks for, suppose, in the assignments, we have got 6 parts. So out of the 6 marks, I can subcategorize into 2 parts, like assignments of what, that it is assignments of practical assignments or theoretical assignments. So practical assignment 3 marks, theoretical assignment 3 marks. So if I go for the practical, that means his learning skill will be developed, application skills, applying skills will be developed, and theoretical skills like that understanding knowledge, how he can recall or not, where he or she has understood the conceptual knowledge or not, it will be developed. So that autonomy we have. So if we go for the that holistic progress card, holistic progress card, then definitely that learning outcome will be better for our students, and we can easily track that progress of our students. Now, whenever we talk about the quality of education, there are three main parameters, key elements, I should say, are they are very much interconnected. Now, it is all about how they are evolving. Like if I talk about the curriculum, it is very much dynamic in nature. It is always expected that a curriculum always should be changed, maybe once in 3 years, or part of curriculum may be changed after 1 year or 2 years also. If I want to, if we have identified some gap, gap in the curriculum. If we go in the NBA things, there is a point in the SAR where we have to mention the gap in the curriculum. So if we find some gap in the curriculum, then definitely we have to identify that, and we have to propose to the affiliating body so that we can upgrade our curriculum to mitigate those gaps. So curriculum in that point of view is very much dynamic, and in point of view of the pedagogy, there are very lesser changes, because chalk and talk is very much we also do chalk and talk, and we also use the ICT tools we are using, and in terms of pedagogy, the basic methodology for teaching any course or any lesson are more or less same. So there are very less changes, and in terms of assessment, so assessment, there is no such changes at all. So here we need to break the ice. We need to go deeper into the assessment procedure. Okay, so once, until or unless we go dig into those assessment procedure, then definitely we will not be able to identify whether our students are progressive or not, whether they have attained that certain level or not, whether the program outcomes has been achieved or not. So that examination reform is important, as well as the assessment reform also is very much important. As per some eminent education researchers, for the assessment, what they have said that the assessment drives what students pay attention to and defines the actual curriculum. Like if a student answers some questions from a particular chapter, that means he or she is very much attentive to this chapter. The student has learned the chapter, understood the chapter. It may be rote learning, it may be conceptual learning, but the student has learned. So that means assessment drive is completed for that chapter. But what about the other things? Okay, there is a gap. That is a missing link. Okay. And yeah, somebody has raised hand. You want to share
Yes,
something, Mr.
please,
Techno?
and
Please.
yes,
Please.
you can
Please.
unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, Dilipji, please. Do you have any thing to share? I think by mistake, the button is.
Yeah, it's by mistake. By mistake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, fine. So now, if any of my colleagues want to share something in between, definitely they can share. Okay, I'll be happy. So now the second man, what he has said that the law of educational cause and effect says that for every evaluative action, there is equal or greater educational reaction. So definitely we may feel that, like we feel that if a student gets failed, due to his problem, definitely if the student doesn't write anything in his paper, then definitely the student will be failed. But what is the problem? We have to identify that. Now, educational reaction means that student may be a dropout student, may be turned into a dropout student, or maybe he will be disheartened, depressed. Maybe he will feel that it is not my cup of tea to learn this, go through this course, or that student will not be able to express himself or herself to the students. He may feel, ashamed that he has got some back in this course. So in this manner, some barrier will be there between the teacher and the student. So the evaluation reaction has got some, definitely that kind of reaction will be there. But if we can properly, systematic approach is being taken, adopted for the assessment throughout the curriculum, then definitely this sort of reaction will not face. That's why it has been, continuous evaluation process has been adopted. And repeatedly in the NAP also, this term has been mentioned that continuous evaluation process must be adopted in any educational system. It may be in school education, it may be in higher education. It is very much important. Uh, why we are talking about the examination reform? Like we need to adopt the outcome-based educational framework. So that's why we need examination reform. We are very much concerned about the quality and employability of our students, of our graduates. And it is very much important to judge the higher order ability of our students, the professional skill of our students, so that we can mark them in terms of employability. Okay. So it is a very common, outcome-based education model. Uh, as in all the technical institutions are trying for NBA, preparing for NBA, it is very much. I think it is very much clear to everyone. Like first of all, we design the vision, then we design the mission of any department, definitely, and after that we go for the sorry, uh, I mean program educational objectives, then program specific outcomes, then program outcomes, then course outcomes. Then after that we go for some measuring, measuring methods, that assessment criteria, whether that specific program outcomes has been attained or not. Okay. And after that we go to sit for the result analysis based on the continuous evaluation process. Okay. Then after the analysis process, we have to identify the action, what action I do to take for to leave those students who are weak in nature, who could not attain some criteria. Then whether some action has been taken or not. The implementation phase. After that, we have to realize if is there any improvement or not. So in this manner, the process is completed from the vision to the improvement. So each and every step are very much important and very much interlinked. Okay, so it may be reversed also. It may be reversed also. So vision, mission, POs, PSOs, POs, COs, then assessment criteria, result analysis, then that action taken report, then improvement realization. So all the things are very part and parcel of this outcome-based education system model. As my point of view, it is what I learned. I have just created this graph. There will be 3 dimensions. Okay, this is the flow chart. input, then processing, just like a computer system, input, processing unit, and the output. Okay. Now the input to the system. What the input of the system? The resources. Resources mean the human resources. Here, the human resources means that's faculty members, the staffs, the students. Infrastructure, what infrastructure has been generated. Then finance, where the finance is coming regularly or not, because without money, nothing can move. And what happens within the system, that the processing unit, process used to organize, control, and to deliver the entire education. Okay. That means the OB, the output of the education, that means the products. Products means our students, definitely. And ultimately, the result of education. I mean, whether they are employable or not. The ultimate goal is they should be employable. These are the 4 stages for adopting the OB framework. We should be very much clear. Our focus should be very much clear. Because now, whenever to design the POs and COs, okay, the POs are very much fixed. Okay, for the UG courses, the PO, there are 12 POs as per NBA guideline. And whatever the COs, yes, we can design the COs. Okay, there may be 4 COs, 5 COs, 6 COs. Okay, it is up to you how you can design, but the COs should be properly mapped with the POs. We have to identify that what is the outcome when we complete the course. What should be the outcome? And whether it is properly mapped or not. If that clarity is not, comes to us, then definitely the entire session will be in vain. And definitely will not be able to advert the students properly. Okay, though always be the students will be always in doubt. Okay, if we don't clearly mention everything in detail or publicize those things among the stakeholders. Okay, that's why whenever we adopt all those things, stakeholder meeting has been made mandatory. Okay, approval from them. Now, mapping outcomes through curriculum. Okay, whenever we design some curriculum or devise some curriculum, there may be numbers of modules, maybe 5 or 6 modules, and for each and every module there will be some learning outcomes, and definitely there will be a course outcomes, and learning outcome should be properly mapped with the course outcome, and course outcome also should be properly mapped with the program outcomes. So that mapping should be very much crystal clear. Okay, for the at least for the faculty members, because this is the important tool towards the assessment process. Then the design and deliver the aligned teaching and learning activities. Okay, that is the pedagogical approach. Then the assessing the attainment of the outcome. How will we assess the attainment ratio of those outcomes? The OB framework, what I've shown in the 2 slides back, I am trying to recreate with another environment. Why? Why? Because if you go in the right side, this one is okay, fine. Clarity of focus should be there. Then program outcomes, the student capability at the end of the graduation, graduate attributes, whether my department is NBA accredited or not. Okay, so if my department is NBA accredited, that means my department has maintained all the criteria, and also it is expected that pass out students will have the ability to to face any questions from the employers. I mean, they are employers. Now the collective achievement, the course outcomes, the courses. Okay, and during the program design, we mentioned that content, pedagogy, assessment, everything will be very much clear. The missing link is here. This is the missing link. That means the assessment. Assessment is the missing link. We always miss this thing, assessment. Okay. To go in detail, I have kept several slides for that to address those missing connect. But for now, as I mentioned, there are 12 numbers of program outcomes as defined by the NBA. I'll not go in detail because that it requires a separate lecture for this to explain each and everything. But there are a couple of things which like engineering knowledge, program analysis, design, conduct, modern tool uses. Okay, this portion are totally technical part, which is concerned to the department, and this portion is related to the professional ethics and society. It comes to it in general. So so whenever we map to the course outcome and want to try to map with the program outcome, we have to clarify each and everything. Now, when we try to adapt the OBF framework, there are some definitely always there is some challenges for in the initial phase, like for the student, what is the expectation of the program outcome? What do we expect for the student to learn in a day? Okay, and how the program outcome connect to this expectation. So, like whenever we write one course outcome, that after this course, the students will be able to write a program in HTML. So that means they will be write a program in HTML. Okay. Now in HTML there are plenty of things. Whether it will be a static website, whether it will be a dynamic website, or entire things will be knowledge will be attained by the student or not. So that thing should be very much clear. That should be very much clear, and the course or curricula which will be designed by the institute or the university, there's also should have the clarity. Okay, like in the module 1, what will be taught and what is the learning outcome for this module 1. In the module 2, what will be the learning outcome. In the module 3, what will be the learning outcome. So for each and every module, there may be a course outcome. So if there is 5 module, there may be 5 course outcome. It may be 6 also. There is no hard and fast rule. If I have 5 modules, there cannot be a 6 course outcomes. So it may be. But the thing is that our idea should be very much clear. After the courses, after completion of the courses, what my student will achieve. Okay, what do I expect from my student? What should be the course outcome? So I try to recreate again this thing, the teaching learning strategies. So this part is all about how well they have attained. This part, how well, and this part depends on how well they are attained. That means, see, if I go from the bottom part, top-down approach, okay, like the learning outcome, what I have mentioned right now, the learning outcomes is mainly mapped with the course outcomes. The course outcome is mapped with the program outcome. And in this manner, the teaching learning strategies is being designed by any faculty member. So whenever before starting the courses, whenever we prepare the course plan, and after that we prepare the lesson plan, each and everything should be very much clear and clearly mention that after this lesson, what will be the expected outcome What do I expect from my student? What is the attainment part from my student? So about the missing link, sometimes we find that there are some gaps in our curricula. Okay, we find that it is hard to find a realistic measurement of the attainment of some outcomes. It may be in the course level, it may be at the definitely level, and definitely will be in the program level also. So always there is some missing link. Okay, and it is important, mainly in part with the attainment. Okay, so that's why we need to emphasize on the assessment specifically. Okay. We need to, what we are trying to do here, we are trying to connect our POs to the assessment, because clarity should be there while we are specifying those POs, that program outcomes. Okay, for that there are some two-step processes there to identification of each of the POs. One is the competency, based on the competency based. Another one is the performance indicators. Okay, there will be some proposed performance indicators. The faculty members are free to identify those things, those performance indicator. Okay, based on their convenience, they can design the performance indicator and map, and ultimately they can find that whether it can be connected to the POs or not, whether the assessment can be done or not. As I main the competencies, so whenever we teach different courses, then for different courses there may be a different level of attainment, which implies different abilities of learning, learning by any learner. So if I take an example, like I've taken an example of one program outcome, design and development of the solution. So which implies different abilities by the PO. This ability to define a complex open-ended problem in engineering terms. Open-ended problem means if for any problem there may be a multiple solution, a multiple method of solving this problem. Okay, so define a complex open-ended problem. Then after that, to generate a diverse set of alternative design solutions, and to select an optional design scheme for further development, to advance an engineering design to define and to state. Okay, so this is the level of competencies we can measure. And for the performance indicator, so for the performance indicator, which mainly means the expectation of the student learning, or confidence is defined, which may be also termed as a competency 2, apply the formal idea of the generation 2 to develop multiple engineering design solutions and identify the functional and non-functional criteria for evaluation of alternate design solutions. Like, it is totally the application and reviewing status. Okay, like in the Bloom taxonomy, if I go to the Bloom taxonomy reference, then the level 4 is implied for. Okay, so for each and every attainment or assessment, there may be a performance indicator. Like for the question number 1, if I give marks 2, then there should be some indicator that how I should give my marks to them, that student. We may take the help of Rubik's method also, whether the clarity is there, the knowledge delivered through this answer is correct, and the writing skill is better or not, whether can explain, the student can explain, could have explained better or not. So based on all those parameters we can give the marks, and from that ultimate mark we can set a performance indicator in total. So again, it is all about the strategy. It is the bidirectional process. Each and every level we have to assess, starting from the program outcomes, course outcomes, performance indicators, and examination questions, paper setting. What I mean to say, it is very much important, because whenever we prepare one question from any chapter or module, we have to think that each and every learning outcome has been covered, and maybe it is not mentioned in the question paper, the knowledge level, but in the draft question paper it should be properly mentioned that this question is been set up to assess which level of knowledge, I mean which learning outcome. Okay, so each and every should be very much clear, starting from the examination, setting up the examination questions, then evaluation process based on the performance indicator, then mapping those things to the course outcomes, and ultimately the program outcomes. Why you are doing those things? Because of the demand of our employers, of our students. What they expect? They should be technical capable. They should have some teamwork capability. They should think critically. They should be ethical. They should have some social responsibilities. They should have some good communication skill. They should have the ability to learn new things, which can promote lifelong learning. They should have the ability of problem solving. Leadership ability should be there. So the expectations are growing day by day. As I mentioned in previous slide, in the 12 program outcomes, the first 5 based on the technical outcomes, the rest of are for to assess the professional outcomes. So I'm not going in detail for this. Nowadays, till date or till couple of years, I mean last year or previous years, what we have seen that the rote learning was taking place, like the students used to mug up these formulas, they used to mug up the definition, and we also setting the question like define this, discuss this, distinguish this. Okay, so it was being very easy for them to get some marks. Okay, and so sometimes rote learning is important because in some cases, but only few cases, but this is not the ultimate this is not our ultimate goal. By memorizing we cannot do some conceptual building. The experiential learning will not be possible from rote learning. So for that we have to we should have some tools to measure the higher level abilities, to where a student can apply their knowledge, gain knowledge, whether they can solve some complex issues or not, where they can analyze a problem or not, where they can synthesize or design some models or not. Like if we can set our question papers in such a manner, like it may be a descriptive type of question, the question may be large, we have created an environment, as students are going through this environment, and they are being put in a situation, okay, where they have given some option, all the parameters, and they have to think which method is better and how they can solve this issue. Then only our our goal we can achieve our goal. Our goal is achieved. Okay, and if a student can answer that question properly, we may say that that student can attain that level. Group taxonomy, plenty of times I think the term came in between while designing those OB framework. Like the level 1, level 2, level 3 is fine. Till date, we are, uh, you know, I mean, concentrating until the level 3. Remember, understanding and some sort of apply. We have not tried anything for analyzing, evaluating, and to create. Maybe in the research, definitely it is there, but education system should not have any limitation. It should be, it should be open, very much open. In our education system, many categories of students are getting admitted. Weak students, there may be weak students, there may be students will get expectations. So we should give opportunity to all of them, and we should assess our students in such a manner. As we are assessing the moderate or weak students also, we should have the tool to assess the students with high potential also. Okay, so we should go beyond mere test the memory recall. Okay, we should have the tool to test the higher order ability and skills. So this is another figure. As we can see, that last three things we may easily check through or assess through the fixed hour examination, like we take the semester examination or midterm examinations, class quizzes and all. But in the first four, for that we need a proper evaluation process through projects, internship projects, book courses, open-ended problems, co-curricular activities. Okay, all those things are very much necessary. Okay, the same thing I have already discussed this thing. I'm skipping this. Okay, a bit of this, referring my previous slide. So reforms in education experience is very much important. So it requires a very much comprehensive reform, and it is a challenging one. Okay, because we are assessing the student learning. See, in a previous slide, the same diagram was there, but here it was the quality education, right? Quality education. But right now it has been replaced with the student learning. So definitely, the quality student learning is very much important out here, because if we cannot deliver, a student cannot learn or attain that point, or otherwise our learning skills will be in vain. Okay, so we have to emphasize in higher skill learning. We have to check for it. We need to adopt the experiential learning, contextual and situated learning. Like we need to take our students to visit some industries, or we need to set our students to some internships where they can go to the industry, see the how the work is being done. Okay, we may check that whether they are attending the meetings, technical meetings properly or not, whether they are punctual or not, whether they can contribute something to that meeting or not, whether they can recall the previous meetings and outcome of those meeting or not, whether they can build a team or not, whether they can lead their co-workers or not, whether they have got some helpful attitude or not, whether the student can assess the situation or not, what to do and when to do. That is very much important. So it is all about the experiential learning, contextual learning, and also the situated learning, situation driven learning. Okay, so it is very much important right now, and we need to assess each and every student based on this. So right now, maybe we have some question in our mind, like can a student handle this? Our students, they are not ready to get the courses, can adapt to the courses. Okay, fine. Always the case is similar everywhere, but the thing is that we need to raise the bar. Okay, if we don't raise the bar, suppose there is an barrier, there is a barrier, and student, I mean the height is 3 feet, but students are reluctant to jump. They are waiting for the gate to be open. There is a gate also, but the gate is closed for 1 year. Still they are waiting and waiting and waiting. Maybe at some point they will be frustrated and they will push to the wall. Okay, or sometimes they will try to jump. So maybe this is the perfect time. So where we can raise our bar, we can set up the entire assessment methodology, so that in future we can properly judge our students. So actually, assessment is not the problem of our students. It is the problem of a faculty member like us. Okay, so we have to set the standards right now, because the employers need that. The employers, every now and then we heard from any in our uh, investors workshop also. If I go to any symposium or interact with any employers outside the state, they say that the students are most of the students are not employed. It is not about the northeast or eastern or northern or southern or the central zone. Everywhere the situation is similar. So we need to think seriously about skilling them, make them aware about the assessment procedure, go deep to the curricula, and also drag them in deep, so that they can attain that bar. So what should we take some action after this FDP is that uh, if we get some input from this FDP, we may relook to our structure, the quality of assessment, how we are doing those assessment in any point of time. Definitely, we are doing our best. But still, is there anything scope of improvement is there everywhere? Then we may come up with new question prep, question setup, in line, so that every knowledge level is been properly covered, and the course outcome is achieved, and we can report this reform. Okay, it will be a good practice in terms of NBA, and we can share our ideas, that question bank, or any reform what we can made and propose for apex bodies like AICT, UGC, affiliating body, micro universities, or boards and other institution also, because we are all faculty members, we belong to the same fraternity, we can share each other everything. And also we can think of new educational experience, what we need to bring to our courses. Okay, to create some opportunity to embedding higher order in terms of skilling and technical skilling, I mean to say technical skilling, and also the professional skilling, so that program outcomes are properly achieved. And for the institutional part, what we can propose that intense orientation of the faculty members and academic leaders to adapt to these reforms, and come up with some institutional documentation where you can give a vision about those assessment guidelines.
हॉस्पिटल तो रिकॉर्ड गया हो गया ਉਹਦੇ ਆਧਾਰ ਕਾਰਡ ਤੇ ਆਪੇ
and recommendation in the space available in the institution, because we are affiliating to some universities, and definitely we have got less autonomy, but still whatever we have left in our hand, we can exercise that. And we should start definitely that continuous internal evolution and grow our experience and enhance experiential learning. It has got weightage everywhere in the NB also. The holistic assessment approach. We are using ICT, so we have to effectively implement it. So that is the institutional part. And lastly, for the examination reform, I'd like to conclude with some sayings of some philosophers, like assessment drives the students' learning. Definitely, once we go for the assessment drives properly, then definitely the student learning will be better. And Donald Belnick is nice thing. He has said that curriculum instructs teacher what to teach, and exam instructs students what to learn. So with those things, I like to conclude, and the floor is open for discussion. I think I have concluded within 1 hour 30 minutes. Over to you, Dr. Sekha Chakraborty.
Good evening. Can I ask one question, sir?
So, if anything, any faculty members can share something, any knowledge, so we can discuss definitely.
Good evening,
Any
sir.
issue.
I have one
Good
question,
evening.
sir.
Sure. Madam, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please
So
go
I
ahead.
have one question, sir. When we talk about science education, we have various type of instruments that we
Yes.
require while doing different experimental teaching. In most of the universities, they lack the funds to buy that instrument. As well as they don't have technical facility
Yes, ma'am.
or technical members who can handle these instruments. Due to this, we could not be able to use that instrument as well as to demonstrate that instrument application to the student. In this situation, how can we handle these new education policies, outcomes? How can we achieve these outcomes? Is there any suggestions for that in NEP?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this question. Like as you mentioned that, do you have fund to buy the equipments, or you are lacking of fund?
Sir, we are having laboratory, but the instrument that are there is not in functional state. Some software problems, as well as we have problem with the technical staff also. We don't have any technical staff in order to take care of that instrument, sir.
Okay. So, ma'am, actually, the thing is that it is not the problem of the affiliating body or not the any approving body also. This is the problem of the institutional level problem. So the thing is that, so first of all, the institutional take the responsibility to maintain those any kind of equipments, because it is very much important. If one equipment is idle for a longer period, then definitely it will be dysfunction. And as per NBA or NAC, whatever it is, we need to maintain some laboratory logbooks. And in the laboratory logbooks, we have to mention that the utility of this equipment, how many hours that equipment has been used by our students per week. Then what are the experiment has been done by this equipment in some point of time. So it is very much important. So, ma'am, I think you should, request your authority to provide assistance to, service those equipments. Because if you don't service those equipments, it will not be function. Or you can contact those vendors who has supplied those equipments. If you can maintain those equipments. Maintenance is required. Regular maintenance is required. And for the technical point of view, like in our case also, in our student also, we have got technical staffs, but other place the technical staffs are being instructed by the faculty members. So at least once a week in the departmental meeting, the faculty members, including the HOD, they sit with the technical staff for any issue. And if there is any problem is been found with the equipments, then faculty members as well as the technical staff are sitting together to solving the problem. So that team building environment may be there, along with the active support from the leadership of the institute. I think in this manner, I mean, you can help yourself.
Sir, the problem is that we don't have funds to pay for that, sir. That is the problem, because in Bihar, it is not possible
Okay.
to have payment for that technical staff. They have already taken out that post also for the
Okay.
technical staff. This is the problem due to which we could not be able to even work with that instrument.
Okay. Ma'am, so you can try at least of your own, if you are comfortable with the equipment. If you are at least you can try, or you can share the skill with one senior student also. I think it is a good idea if you share the skill to a senior student of final year to use the equipments. You can ask the student to come to the laboratory. Maybe you can provide internship to that student, or you can give certificate, because ma'am, I think you have seen that in the ICT in that internship policy, a student can do internship in the host institution also. So you can give a certification to the student that that student has done some work in my department, and that's why I have certified him. So definitely some skilling will also be there. He'll be confident with that machine. So it will be. I think it will be beneficial. You can find a midway to
Okay,
get out of this crisis, if it is possible. I mean, if it is possible for you. Yes. Thank you. Any faculty members, please?
Hello, anyone, any question, please?
Yes.
And one more thing, that already I shared your one feedback form link and one questionnaire form. So please submit that form by at least by 11 p.m. I gave more time because you need to take rest also. That's why I gave 11 p.m. So it is a process of evaluation for the FDV certificate. So it is mandatory. Without this, I can't provide the certificate too. So it's mandatory for everyone. I already posted in your WhatsApp group, and I will send you by email also, because maybe someone is for network issue absent today here. So you can also fill these things. So, and anyone, if any question, you can ask to sir. Please.
Yes, please. Because we should take this OB framework very cautiously and seriously, because this is the future, and we have to admit it. We have to admit it. We have to accept it, and as soon as we can accept this, it will be easier for us. Otherwise, we'll be pushed through. We'll be pushed through the barrier. So let us come together, and we can frame something good. All academic fraternity, if everybody comes together and framing something, it will be better. There are many scope of development in the NAP also, NAP 2020 also, because in the NAP 2020, if a skeleton framework has been given, but in detail, there are plenty of opportunities are there where we can fit some inputs of our own inputs, which is for betterment of our student, for betterment of the learning process. What we talking about in the past decades. And NBA will be made mandatory, has been made mandatory. So we have to.
So it's really a nice session, and you did it
Thank
really
you,
very
sir.
good. Yeah, it's really very good. And I hope anyone has no question. Or maybe if anyone need any question, they can ask you later on also.
Sure.
Sir, I have.
Oh, okay. There is question. Okay,
yeah,
continue.
please.
Sir, so you mentioned about holistic values, constitutional values like empathy. Sir, I'm wondering how to assess such kind of values when it comes to the subjects like mathematics. So where you find a lot of abstractions in form of concepts that we teach in classrooms. So, so can you please share your opinion on that?
Sure. It's a nice question. And whenever you are teaching the subject like mathematics, then how you can evaluate this thing? So see, all subjects cannot be, suppose maths is a subject course. So each and every course may not be mapped with the entire program outcomes. I think, am I clear? All
Yes,
the
sir.
courses,
Yes, sir.
yeah, because there are 12 numbers of program outcomes out there. It is not possible to map the course outcome with entire program outcomes. So there will be some, at least suppose if you have chosen or taken 5 course outcomes, those 5 course outcomes may be mapped with, at least 7 to 8 program outcomes, right? So some program outcomes will be missed out. So maybe ethics may not be mapped with the course outcome of the mathematics, but ethics may be mapped with the course outcome of the generic skill, courses like professional ethics, courses like communication may be mapped with the courses like those generic skill. Then another courses we have traditional values, engineering and society professional program outcome may be mapped with the in technology in Indian society, the subject we have adopted. Then so in this manner we can map. So maybe those ethics part may not be mapped with the course outcome with the mathematics. So it may not be possible. Okay. And it
Thank
is
you,
not,
sir.
it is not possible also. It is not possible. And all course outcomes may not be matched with entire program outcomes. So some program outcomes will be missed.
Yes, sir. It makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think, sir, there is no more question. Anyone else? Any question? No. So really, thank you very much, sir. And thank you all the participants. Yeah, thank you very much, all the participants, for this wonderful session. We are all really conducted a very good session for the 5 days, because all the participants are interacting with our eminent speakers. So this is the important part. So I think anyone want to say something, please? Anyone want to say something?
Yes, it was very good session. Thanks for putting light on NEP, because many states are still struggling about it. So kindly take this session again in coming time to update what is going on new in it.
Yeah, sure, sir.
So next time kindly take some person from Karnataka also, because they have already implemented NEP.
Yeah, we'll definitely what we actually found here, 5 eminent speakers, and all of them are very good. I found all the lectures are very good and very helpful for all of us. And I hope all of you enjoy also these things very well. So these all the, I think, really very good lectures, and we need to know about more and more about these things. So
Yeah,
in the coming days,
it was very good.
Yeah, in the coming days, we need to do this type of workshop again, maybe for the more time. So if possible. So,
Definitely.
so I'll try also definitely to do these things.
I have requests for the future events, sir. The candidates who are eligible for such kind of events, that should not be restricted to the faculty members only. It should be the people who are like future faculty members. They should also be allowed for such programs.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good thing. But one thing is that this program was designed for the faculty. That's why it's written as faculty development program. Though maybe I see that many of you that here registered, they may be someone is from a different PhD scholar or something else. But
yes, sir. Even the Pandit Madan Mohan Malya National Mission on Teacher and Teaching, that is also considering research scholars for such kind of programs.
Yeah, but whenever you are suppose for a faculty evaluation program, since it is a method, so we need to provide some certificate. What? Sorry, I didn't get it.
Yes, sir. No, sir, I was not saying. Yeah, the certificate, including the certification process, that is
Yeah.
like people are conducting. Sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this maybe next time I'll do it in a later way. So it's not for the faculty. It's a very good suggestion. So it may be open for all research scholar and everyone. So then we need to change the name also. So we will not put the name as a faculty development program. Maybe we'll put it in other way, so that everyone can attend, everyone can utilize the certificate in their perspectives. Because what? Please tell me. So
Thank
for
you,
this,
sir. Thank you. Sir.
yeah, for this time actually, since it is a faculty development program, so we will provide the certificate only to the faculty members. So I'm really sorry for that. Though you attend the session, if anyone of here is a like PhD scholar, so please don't take it otherwise, because we can't provide a like certificate to a, yeah. So that's the request, that maybe next time we will provide you the platform, so that maybe research scholar, anyone from any department, so we'll do something like this from the next time. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
so
one suggestion, sir. Sir, please have some FTP on MOOCs, sir. On MOOCs, whether what type of
yes, yeah,
suggestion that you
very
have
good
to take from
suggestion.
the administration in order to do MOOCs, because many of them are saying that for doing your SWAYAM platform, we require various type of permissions from the administration. Is there anything like that? So please have a program on that.
Okay,
For
madam.
students as well as for the teachers, because the students also don't know in which program they get enrolled. Because,
Yeah,
from
sure.
the administration, we are getting the information that if the teacher is not available in the university, then only you can do the course from the SWAYAM portal. Very much confusion is there. No clarity is there from the administration side. So I will
Okay,
request you
madam.
to
That
have
is
an
very,
application.
that's very good suggestion. So we'll try to focus on it, madam. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, it was a
Okay.
wonderful session, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, really, I also enjoyed all the sessions, and actually I enjoyed for all of you, because it's like a interaction session was really very good, and everyone from different parts of India, though we are in the northeastern part, but I saw that many participants are from maybe Kashmir, maybe from South India, or maybe different parts. So it's really I enjoyed this session very much. So thank you again, everyone. So please kindly do these formalities. That is, one is for like the feedback form, and another is questionnaire session. These only for just formalities. And definitely I'll provide a certificate to all those who will fill up these things. So please do these things, and from the next week I'll try to disburse this certificate to everyone. Okay. So I need to finish this session here. So is it okay, or anyone want to say something? I think no. So Tomojo sir, maybe we can close this session.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Your
Thank you very much.
valuable speech
Thank
is
you very
really
much.
good, and I personally enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
So thank you very
I
much.
hope
And
so.
in future also, if we need something, we will contact with you also.
Sure,
So
sure.
regarding, since you are
Definitely.
doing a very good work in this field. So thank you again to everyone, and good night, and see you again maybe in the future with a new platform. Okay, so I'm closing the session here, the end of this 5 days FDP session. Okay, so bye, good night to everyone.